Did your elementary school teacher ever make you go and stand in the corner when all you were doing was trying to speak the truth? Is Barack Obama secretly Hawaiian? Are the Church of Scientology secretly trying to take over your town? Do the Jews secretly control the Israeli government? Don't get cold feet just yet, because it's always 90 degrees here in the conspiracy corner. Or at least that's what they want you to think.
So, Brett, have you ever been in a car and thought to yourself, oh, you're one of those plebeians that walks, don't you?
One of them Amish.
Oh, you use the good old horse and buggy, don't you?
Alright, so have I ever been riding in a buggy and...
Fucking what? This analogy is so extravagant now. Have you ever been
in... It's the first rule of improv. No, and...
So have you ever been in Amish country? There you were, 4 horses deep, with 2 wheels behind you.
There I was, elbow deep in a horse, on the side of the road.
And you just go, damn, this here earth is pretty solid. You ever wonder to yourself why it doesn't, maybe echo?
Why doesn't the earth just, yield and give up and fall apart like a big fat horse pussy on the side of the road?
How many horsepowers do you think you have in that horse and buggy?
Well, it's sort of like playing Skyrim, Every once in a while, a horse will keel over and die, and you'll think, at least I'll get some horse meat out of the deal, but it turns out that the horse is empty and doesn't have anything in its inventory. It's just one of those sand horses filled with sand.
Aren't we all empty inside?
Yeah, it's sort of like a Skyrim horse.
Welcome to another episode here on Conspiracy Corner.
Is your life devoid and empty? Well, so is the core of the earth.
What a fantastic intro. All right.
Have you considered filling the empty husk of your life with Nazi esoteric spiritualism?
Oh, well, I guess we could do that too. So, this hollow earth, what part of the theory are we going here for? Because they've done plenty of movies on it. I know that King Kong has had hollow earth with Godzilla. I know
great
Dwayne
question.
Johnson centered, what was it, Journey to the Center of the Earth with Dwayne Johnson? Or was that Brendan Fraser?
That was Brendan Fraser.
I thought Dwayne Johnson did that too.
No, Dwayne Johnson was in the sequel where they went to the mysterious island.
Oh, that dude's in everything. That's its own conspiracy. Dwayne Johnson is just a triplet.
You think that, sort of like the solar system itself, there isn't one rock, but 3 rock.
3 Samoan rocks.
Some would say that Samoa is just 3 rocks. They'd be incorrect.
Okay. So hit me with this. What is this overarching theory with Hollow Earth? That's it? It's just a big ass fucking hollow? Like there's an ecosystem in it or what?
Well, I just wanted to do sort of like a chronological drive-by of the broad concept of Hollow Earth, and maybe it could be split up into smaller chunks later on, into specific whack jobs.
All right. So what's the overarching one? And then the next conspiracy corner we'll go over.
Well,
whack job number 1.
I reckon in ye olden days, people had no fucking clue how anything worked.
I still don't know how things work.
So maybe things haven't changed all that much.
Okay.
People know that sometimes the Earth moves a bit.
Okay.
that sometimes you get those earthquakes and stuff. That's pretty fucky. And people also notice that if you dug straight down, you'd probably hit water some places.
I would argue that you would hit water just about anywhere.
Which is pretty fucking confusing, you know? Like, the ground seems pretty solid, except for once in a while when it shakes, so why is there water when you dig down? Like, why, if Earth sinks in water, why is it...
I'm dying on the inside right now.
If
How moronic you sound.
If rock sinks in water, then why is the rock on top of the water?
Continue as I grind my teeth in frustration.
It makes sense though. Like
no,
it
doesn't.
If that's all the information you have to go on, then it makes sense.
They're fucking retarded.
Obviously, it would have to be held up by pillars of stone, and there would have to be a bunch of water floating down there anyways.
I think this is my least favorite conspiracy right now. It's already pissing me off with the water. I'm sorry. Continue, good sir.
I mean, this is the case in lots of stories of the underworld. You know, the Mayans had plenty of cenotes and weird geological formations, weird sinkholes and caves and shit full of water, and so they figured, well, it's just that all the way down. And the world's sort of like that. The Hebrews figured the same thing, that the dark pits of Sheol were in the great caves of water and the pillars of the earth and shit.
And I'm forgetting that I'm coming from a background of geotechnical engineering where I've studied and I'm reading the works of other great engineers or
the other
research
great geotechnicians.
Exactly, and how they kind of break everything down. And so you are right. If you were back there and you saw a rock sink,
like if you would know that if you chucked a rock in a bucket, it would sink, but yet if you dig down, you hit water. What the fuck? Right?
Diggy, diggy hole. Good water. Because, they're... I just... It astounds me on what that thinking would have had to have been like, and I would love to have a conversation just to explain to them, look, water is there because of that's where it's stored, in the ground.
That's what they're saying.
Or the ocean.
Is that the water is stored in great underground cisterns. Except that it's like all cistern instead of just like caves and aquifers and shit. But it is big pillar.
Okay. So the entire premise of this hollow earth idea is that there's just a giant pillar holding up the earth in the center?
No, there would be multiple and they would shake sometimes. Depending on like the flow of the water.
That's it. That's the entire hollow earth thing?
Well, no, but that's how it would have started off.
Okay.
It would have, of course, changed slightly once they start measuring the curvature of the Earth and figuring out that the Earth is round. And then, well, that's sort of weird. If it wraps back in on itself, how does the surface of a ball flex and deform in an earthquake kind of thing? They figured, well, the pillars must still be holding it up, and there still must be water down there, right? But it was Pliny the Elder, the first encyclopedian in the Roman world, who came up with, you know what else is the fuck down there? The wind. That's where the wind goes.
I heard Windigo, and then my mind went to a Winnebago. So then I'm just thinking Roman times. There's just Clark Griswold with his Winnebago in fucking Hollow Earth.
It's true, much like his antecedents, much like Dante and Aeneas and stuff. So too would Pliny the Elder descend into the underworld to find the Winnebagos of the dead in the underworld.
Okay. So Roman guy goes, there's wind.
He goes, well, he says the same thing, that we know that there's earthquakes and pillars holding up the earth and shit, and that it's sort of wrapped back in on itself and curvular.
Okay.
But we also don't know what the fuck is going on with the wind. Where does the wind come from? Where does it go? Underground. That's what Pliny says.
Where does it come from? Where does it go? I don't really fucking know, Cotton Eye Joe.
Pliny says that just before an earthquake hits, you'll notice that it's very calm. That the wind is still. That's because the wind has gone under the fuck ground.
I actually don't have an explanation for that phenomenon. I've never heard that before, where before an earthquake occurs, the wind stands still.
Well, that's because it doesn't. That's because they're unrelated.
Well, yes, I'm aware of that.
It's just compared to, the chaos of an earthquake. It seems calm before in your memory.
And I'm thinking in my head, how would, if the earth is shaking, well, either her ass of a dump truck is coming over there and landing on the ground, or, tectonic plate theory. What is the... I'm not thinking about the wind. Maybe she's shaking her ass if she's going to pass gas, but, that's just a shitty time. So, interesting. So, guy says, no wind. Sorry. Guy says wind in earth.
Where do earth come... Where wind come from? Wind come from underground.
Ah, thank you for the plebeians in the back like me. Okay.
I mean,
so now what?
Them Romans did love their engineering projects. They had plenty of mines and shit, and they knew that there were weird gases and shit coming up from mines and from out of the earth and shit that sometimes killed you to death.
Yeah, but those are different chemicals.
Yeah, but they're still gaseous. They're still in the air.
Yeah, but it's not O2, which I'm trying to breathe. I ain't trying to breathe, that CO2 or that sweet, sweet, dank methane. Which I don't know the chemical composition of methane, so I just, obviously, I think CO2 is carbon dioxide. Methane is what? M something, H something,
Methane
O?
is CH4.
CH4?
Yeah.
I thought it had an M in it.
I don't know what element M is.
That's a good question. I don't know. Doesn't really matter.
I think Mg should be...
Manganese.
There should be Mg and Mn, magnesium and manganese.
So, the good old doctor boy says that their hole's got wind in it.
Their hole's got wind in it.
Okay, now what? That's it?
Well,
other than...
If you combine, Pliny knew that the earth was on pillars, that the world was round, that they had measured the curvature of the earth with shadows and wells and shit between Syene and Alexandria and shit, and that there's air under the ground. This is beginning to take shape into what we would call the hollow earth theory, that not only is there...
Oh, so we're not there yet, but we're getting there.
This is sort of the evolution of it, that it's pieced together from these different things.
Okay.
This is sort of the first incarnation. And Pliny doesn't, come out and describe, vividly the structure of the earth as being this hollow sphere full of these seas and airs and shit. It's sort of split up and separate, it doesn't emerge holistically and as a picture of what we think of as the hollow earth. It's still sort of evolving. This is the primordial soup of the hollow earth.
Okay. So nobody has there's all these ideas and nobody has tied it together and slapped the label hollow and earth on it. It's primordial soup. Soon to be good primordial eaten for the conspiracies nuts. Like people such as ourselves. Okay. So I think on part 2, we dive a little bit more deeper on what that next step is.
Yeah.
Your timeout is over. As the final echoes of our broadcast dissolve back into the void, you return from the Conspiracy Corner. A place not of whispers and shadows, but of reflection. Because in every tale of hidden hands and unseen forces, there lingers something far more unsettling. Not what is out there, but what lies within ourselves. And one final thought to carry with you back into that darkness. That federal agents are like opinions. Everybody has one, and they all stink.